everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Talkoffame podcast. I'm Kylie, and joining us today is Joe Martin. Joe is the owner of Relentless Positivity Fitness. He teaches all of the in-person and online classes. He has won several awards, including Huntsville Healthiest Trainer, Huntless Healthiest Male. Relentless Positivity Fitness was voted the best place in Huntsville to work out, and his book, Relentless Positivity, hit the Amazon bestsellers list. He prides himself on his ability to make exercise fun, safe, and effective for everybody, no matter what size they are or what kind of shape they're in. Joe has been a lifelong athlete until one day he woke up and realized he was 50 pounds overweight, depressed, and injured. It was a turning point in his life when he got fed up and realized that there had been a better way. From that day on, he has dedicated his life to studying health and fitness, using it to help others achieving their goals. Recently, I've gotten so obsessed with the gym, which is a bad obsession and a good obsession for me. And I always was so curious since I started going for a few months now on how I can achieve my gym goals because I seriously don't know how to. There's so many goals and become positive while doing it. And I thought Joe would probably be the best person to ask these questions of his experiences and everything he's doing. But thank you so much, Joe, for coming on and chatting with us today. I appreciate it.
Oh, Kylie, thanks for having on. I'm really excited to be here today.
Same here. So, of course, we're Relentless Positivity Fitness. You've been doing this for about a couple of years now, but how did you start it? Like, what kind of pushed you to start that?
Like you mentioned, I was overweight at one time and I lost 50 pounds and I felt great. I would love to help other people get this same feeling. So that's kind of my direction I went in school. And then right out of school, this is all I've done, as a professional career is just help people, reach their weight loss and exercise goals. So it's coming from a point of kind of walking in other people's shoes. Like I've been overweight, I've been injured, I've been depressed, of all these different things that a lot of my clients have dealt with. And it's kind of helped me put me on that path that, man, I would love to help people kind of dig themselves out of the same hole I was in.
Oh, I love it. Like, what year did you kind of realize all of this?
I was pretty young, so I was coming in right out of high school when I kind of hit my lowest points. I was 18 years old, and I'm 46 now, so it's been a minute. So it's been a little while.
Oh, you realized it better than I could at 18 years old. I'm 17 and still haven't realized that yet. So I applaud you for that one because I would never realize that. But what is Relentless Positivity Fitness kind of all about? Because I know it's female oriented, right?
Yeah, but 90% of what we do is just all female classes. So I was working in gyms for a long time, and I was, I give people their tours and walk them around, show them the gym, everything, and I was noticing in particular a lot of women would get the same kind of look in their eyes, like this just isn't for me. I don't know. There'd be a guy like, yelling and screaming, picking up weights and slamming them down or whatever, and people sweating all over the equipment. There's all these different things that not a big fan of. And then some gyms are like meat markets where guys are just hitting on girls all the time. So I knew there had to be something, outside of the general. That time there's something called Curve. They had like the circuit train, and it was just for women. There's nothing else that was just for women. I wanted to kind of create
Mhm.
their own community where I have to worry about hair, or makeup, or dudes hitting on them, or whatever. All the kind of those barriers to exercise that kind of keep people away. So we just started with one class on the side and just grew it from there. That's like got a great response, and I was working a full-time job at that time, and then this is all I do now. So I've kind of got on to that. Just it's making exercise fun and accessible to everybody.
Oh, I need to start going to that gym now because it seems right up my alley. Because of course, I go to like a regular Planet Fitness thing, like most people do, and of course, that's all I see. That's literally all Planet Fitness or other memberships people see. It's what guys hitting on girls or the other way around. That's usually the normal route. But like, what is kind of like your overall mission for Relentless Positivity? Like, because I know with going to the gym, everyone has different expectations.
Yeah, for me, I want to change the world, right? So my goal is to change the world. I chose to work with women because if you're going to change the world, you got to start with moms, right? If you look at the
Yeah.
stats, they decide what's the family going to do in their leisure time? What are we spending our money on? What's for dinner? All these type of things. That's usually the mom makes the decision, right?
Yeah.
There's some that skew the other way or the other, but no, if we're deciding what we're doing, how we're going to move our bodies and these types of things, usually the mom is the leader of the household. I know dad is technically supposed to be the guy, That ain't it these days, right? So the mom's going to be the leader. So if I'm going to change the whole family, I've seen it through my fitness classes that when the mom starts getting healthy, she starts eating right. I was like, oh well, mom's doing that. We should do this as well, and everyone else starts falling in line. So that's kind of what it's all about. Just kind of making, like I said, making it accessible. That it's for all shapes, sizes, ages, all that stuff. And it's never too late. A lot of people they say, well, I gotta get in shape before I come to your class. I'm like, no, that's what I do. You get shape here. You don't have to get in shape. We'll work with you at any level. We're gonna meet you where you are and help you get you where you want to go.
That is such a great choice. Start with woman first. I'm like, okay, that's a great choice. It's of course there's not a lot of programs that do that. There's barely any from what I've personally seen. And of course, when women recently are kind of in charge of the household or kind of like the kind of the decision maker or kind of the dinner person, they all make the choices like in terms of what we eat, what we do. It's like when can women actually do something while the men are actually working down jobs or anything? What can we do besides taking care of the kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of my clients, it's kind of the niche I've fallen into is women in their 40s, just 40s and 50s, somewhere here that they've been working a career, they've been taking care of kids, and kind of forgot about themselves. They tend to take care of everybody else and forgot about themselves. And now kids are a little bit older, maybe college age, and it's time to focus on me. And they're kind of getting back to, oh, well, I can, start taking care of myself. That's where we fit in. It's not, a lot of young 20s and 30s, like buff, bodybuilder type. It's people that are just getting back into fitness and trying to turn their lives around after, taking care of everybody else. And it's finally their turn.
It definitely is. And of course, what's making time for everybody else besides yourself is so exhausting. It's
Yeah,
honestly so exhausting. I'm sure you can feel that as well. I honestly
for
feel
sure.
that every single day. But it's like with not taking time for yourself, it's very exhausting. It does get annoying after a while to be like, okay, I'm taking care of my kids or my neighbors, my parents,
Yeah,
whatever it
everybody.
may be. There are just so many responsibilities that like, you have some at some point someone has to realize, like, okay, when can I actually take time for myself instead of worrying about other people?
That's it. Yeah, and if you start taking better care of yourself, guess what? You're going to become a better mom, a better sister, a better friend. All these things, you'll have the energy, the vitality, and all these different things. Everything's going to be better when your body is doing what it's meant to be doing. So taking care of yourself is not selfish. And people kind of look at, oh, well, I have to take time away from doing this and that. Well, it's not selfish. You got to take care of yourself if you're going to take care of anybody else.
Yes, exactly. But how can we be positive when working out? Because of course, we're coming a lot of stress. Personally, I'm like sometimes I stress when I'm working out and don't know what to do. But like from your experience, like how can we be positive when working out and take care of ourselves?
I think the first step is kind of switching that mindset from I have to go work out or I feel obligated to work out that you get to work out. It's a reward. It's not a punishment. It's not you're getting a punishment because you ate a brownie or something or you had, pizza at lunch or something like that. You were meant to move. We're all born to move and it's a reward. It's not a punishment. So finding that way, just doing the switch where, oh my gosh, I get to go work out. I'm healthy enough to go exercise. A lot of people do not have that privilege and they would trade places with you in a second. So kind of starting with that, that'll give you the right attitude to go in there. And from there, it's to finding the right exercise for your body. It doesn't matter if you think CrossFit is the most effective program out there, Orange Theory, whatever these different things are that you think, oh, that's awesome. They get the great results, but you hate it, that's not the right exercise program for you. It's finding an exercise. If you love Zumba or whatever it is that you love, enjoy moving your body, that's the workout that you do because you're going to keep showing up. You're going to keep doing it. And that's how you get results. It's not going for 2 weeks and then quitting. It's something you're going to do 2 to 3, 4 times a week for a consistent basis and something you can do sustainably.
That is such a fact because, of course, like if you have a gym membership, you always want to stay persistent because, of course, you're spending money out of your paycheck to work out. Of course, like you said, we were born to move our bodies in different ways, and of course, not every workouts for you. Not every workout is supposed to be for you. Not everything is like there's so many different strategies, whether it's Zumba, there's regular Planet Fitness workouts or
Yeah.
whatever dance classes. there's different ways, but it's a matter of, okay, like, do I want to stay persistent, like go 2, 3 times a week like I do? I go like 2, 3 times a week. And depending on the schedules, but who knows, like not that might not be the best option for everyone. They might not have the time, they might have a couple of kids, work a full-time job. Like not going 2, 3 times a week is edgeable for
Yeah.
someone.
And I think people get caught in that trap that, oh, I have to work out for, 2 hours a day or an hour every day. Hey, if you have 5 to 10 minutes, that's what you have. That's what you don't take zero over, because you can't do an hour. I get a lot of people that caught in that where, well, I couldn't do this, so I did nothing. If you have 5 minutes to exercise, it's great. Use your 5 minutes. It's not ideal, but it's better. Five is better than 0 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than absolutely nothing, you know?
Yeah,
What better stuff than you just took like 10 minutes ago.
that's it.
But what are some unique strategies for personal and professional growth?
For me, it's something that really helped for me is do it now. When I knew exactly before I started my business, I knew what I wanted to do, how to do it, all these different things, but I was procrastinating because I was trying to be a perfectionist and get it exactly right. Well, this is not a perfect world, right? So
Yeah.
I've heard a phrase that, perfectionism, that's just procrastination. You know what you want to do, just get out there. I'm a ready, shoot, aim kind of guy now. So I'll get something started, then fix it as I go. So I think that keeps so many people from doing things because they start overanalyzing doing this and trying to make it perfect. It's not going to be perfect. You got to get started and then fix it as you go. That's been a huge one for me. Um, Another one is kind of fixing your mindset. I've got a mindset coach that's helped me kind of flip things around. And one of the biggest things I've learned from him is anything in life is just a decision. At one time, if you decided I'm bad at math, you decided you were bad at math. It does. It's not a fact. You could get better at math. You could be the best if you get better at math because you just decided I'm bad at math. You probably had some experiences in school where you struggled with things like that. Maybe you just didn't have the right teacher. But or you say I'm bad with money or I'm bad in relationships or things like that. That's just a decision. So if you could decide that way, you could just as easily decide the other way. So, man, I think you just look at it that way. If you take the mindset of, if you go into a workout saying that, well, I can't do this, you're right. If you've already defeated yourself before you even started something. Why would you ever do that? Just decide if you want to do something that it's already done. And that's half the way getting there. Because then here's what happens. There's kind of this circle that goes. If you've decided, okay, let's say I hear this all the time. Weight loss is hard. So you decided that's your decision up here, and then you go into here, and your actions are going to be, well, I know I'm already going to fail, so I'm not going to do it right. So what happens, if you make one mistake, you completely forget the whole program. You'll see that a lot with people that they're doing really well. In January, they're eating the right things, they're eating salads and grilled chickens and all that. And then they make one slip up, and then it's pizza, beer, brownies for dinner, whatever it is. Just don't let a slip become a fall. Just go back to that decision that weight loss is not hard, that you can make it happen. I think everyone just messes themselves up before they even get started.
Yeah, that's so true because of course with me I'm like, okay, like let's do this. I end up not doing it. Like
Yeah.
let's like I know that a lot of people they say this is not gonna work out before they even try. And I'm thinking myself, how I do know if you're gonna like this or if you have a hard time unless you tried, then you'll know.
Yeah. Because then you're looking for the proof that, well, see, weight loss is hard. See, I messed up. So I was right. But what if you look for the tiny little proof that you're headed the right direction? What about all those days you were doing good? So it is possible you were doing it, but then you had a little slip up. So, you go back to those. Remember the good stuff. Keep your eyes focused on the good stuff, and that'll give you the proof and the evidence that you're doing the right thing, that you can do it, that you are capable.
Yeah, exactly. But like for relentless positive fitness, like is there any guidelines to join or is there nothing? Like you can just go in regularly.
No, we just come on in. Like I said, we meet people wherever they are. I've had 12-year-olds all the way up to 80-year-olds, everything in between. And most of our clients are 40s, 50s, 60s. I've got one class that everyone in there, oh, well, maybe two or three, have had shoulder replacement, knee replacement, hip replacement, all these different artificial parts in there. And they're still doing an amazing job. I work with 25 grandmothers right now That's an amazing thing.
Ooh.
Grandmas are built different than when I was a kid. Like
Oh, yeah.
these are some in shape grandmas right here. So that's what I love to see, and that's my goal. Like I'm 46 right now. My goals have changed from when I was in my 20s and 30s to wanting to squat and bench press certain numbers to I want to be that spry old man that's working circles around the kids at the gym or something like that. Up in my 70s is still strong and vital and all these different things and have the energy to do things because you see too many people that they'll work a career for 40, 50 years and then they'll die. When they quit working, that was kind of their thing. That's all they did, and they didn't take care of themselves. And now that one thing they go to work for is gone. I saw it all the time when I worked at this other job. So I think that's a big thing for me is just looking at what's a long term, not just sacrificing for, trying to look good for bikini season for now, but sacrificing long term health. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, of course, with somebody, they might have said, like, okay, I'm gonna get fit for summer, look good in a swimsuit, like, let's get this. And then once summer ends or begins, they're just like, cancel the gym memberships. I know some places the gym membership for high school students are similar or free. So they're like, let's go to the gym for the summer. And then once the summer ends, I'm gonna cancel and go back next summer. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, like, even with a free membership, just take free advantage of it and then do pay whatever the fee is for the next couple months you working out. Don't just quit just because of it's free and to look good
Yeah.
24/7 during
And
this.
don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with those short-term goals and things like that, but I've seen so many people mess up their metabolism with these extreme diets and things like that and extreme exercise. And you can probably get away with that when you're in high school and younger, but as you get older, it's gonna be it's not worth it. Let me just tell you from someone from experience who has seen it for 25 years, it's not worth it. Don't do the
Mhm.
extreme stuff. Do the stuff we talked about that's sustainable. And it works. It'll work. Just stick with it. Be consistent, something sustainable, and it's not going to hurt you in the long term.
That is so noted. I'll definitely note that when next time I work out at the gym. Oh, but how can people like lose weight and improve their health when working out?
So I like to talk to my clients like weight loss is a very common goal. So someone comes in to say I want to lose, let's say 30 pounds. So I like to take them through the 5 whys. So it's when they say I want to lose 30 pounds, I say why? And usually kind of taken aback, like, well, why are you asking that? Everyone wants to lose weight, right? Usually most people do not have a good reason. Like there's no, I want to match my number on my driver's license, whatever it is, they just have a number in their head and on the scale that's what they want. That sounds like a good number. But then you kind of get down. I try to get them down deep because I want to lose 30 pounds is not a deep emotional connection to that goal. That's just
Yeah.
it would be nice if I lost that. But one of my clients, I just took her through this exercise, and she said I want to lose 30 pounds. I said, why? She said, well, I just don't feel good in my body. And I said, well, why? And you kind of feel like a jerk as a coach continuing to like dig that. But man, this exercise is very powerful and can be very emotional too. Now, a few whys down the way, we figured out that she wanted to lose weight and model healthy behavior for her daughter because she was bullied as an overweight teen, and she never wanted her daughter to go through that. I mean, that was her big reason. That you think about that versus I want to lose 30 pounds up here versus I want to eat healthy and exercise so my daughter never has to go through what I went through. Man, that is a huge difference. So
Mhm.
finding your goal right there first, a deep emotional connection to that and why you want to lose that weight, I think it would start there. And then two tools to kind of lose weight. Number one is think about the hunger scale. So one being I'm starving to death, and 10 being eaten so much I want to throw up. That's kind of the extremes, right? We want to keep around like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in the middle where you're not overfed and you're not starving, somewhere where your blood sugar is not shooting up and down. So you kind of want to stabilize your blood sugars. Think about the hunger scale, kind of keeping that right in the middle, and that's going to take some kind of trial and error for a lot of people. But think about that. Don't just stuff yourself, things like that. So saying some tips on that, not stuffing yourself, is eating slower. Putting your fork and a spoon down in between bites, slowing it down, taking about 20 minutes to eat, because that's about what the time it takes for your stomach to tell your brain, hey, I'm full. So, now slow it, because I'm a fast eater. Take this from a guy from experience. Slow down your eating is a big one. Put away the electronics or distractions while you're eating. Like I'm pretty bad about that as well. Is
Mhm.
doing some work while I'm doing it, or reading a book, or being on social media or something that rather than just focusing on the food, tasting the food, enjoying the food, maybe the company around you, things like that. You'll eat a whole lot less if you do it that way rather than just shoveling it in and going on to the next thing and eating mindlessly. So that's two kind of things on that. And then figuring out portion control. that's kind of where my weight loss journey is, figuring out what do portions look like. What is this? What am I putting into my body? So a good portion control guide to look for is using your hands. So if anyone's listening right now, if you can look up precision nutrition portion control guide, and it'll tell you how to use your hands to measure. Because if someone tells you, hey, you need to eat 2 cups of vegetables, most just be like, I have no idea what 2 cups of vegetables look like. But if you've got 2 hands, you can figure out what it looks like. So it's kind of figuring out, hey, how many portions am I eating? Because if you look on a package, it'll tell you how many servings are in there, right? So if you look at a 20-ounce Mountain Dew, that's not just one serving. So that's more than one serving in there. So looking out, if you drink or eat this whole box or bag or whatever it is, look at all the calories of all the servings, thinking about that and putting what you're putting in your body. That's a huge one right there. So those 2 tools are kind of things you can look at to start your weight loss journey, but it all starts with that great mindset, I think, with the why do I want to lose this weight? Because a lot of people, they lose the weight and they're still unhappy because they didn't address the true reason why they wanted to get healthier. So if you start there, I think it's going to put you on a much more positive path.
I love those reasons. Like that is honestly the reasons like I honestly struggle with every single day. Like eating while on my phone or eating while I'm
Yeah.
doing work. Like there's always things that are always catching up on my head or what I'm doing that causes me to eat less and less each time that I'm still um trying to figure out to stop myself. Is that's a big pet peeve of mine is doing something else I'm eating. And I have a hard time eating different things when I'm busy and getting distracted. So it's a bad distraction and be able to get distracted by so many things that's like, okay, what can I actually eat besides doing work 24/7? It's finding
Yeah.
that time to actually make time for your body and actually eating rather than doing something else.
Yeah, and that's part of it is having a kind of a plan, not just leaving it up to chance that you're going to eat the right things. Kind of like for a big thing for me is prepping my foods on the weekends. Chicken, vegetables all cut up and ready to go. That way I can just pull it out when the week is busy. I can just pull it out and I'll have a healthy meal just sitting there waiting on me, rather than having to go through a drive-through or happen to how you are when you're busy and you're like, man, I don't feel like making anything right now, so I'm going to just eat whatever junk happens to be in the house. But if you make it easier to be healthy and harder to not be, and that's the way you want to be. Because if you can just pull something out like, hey, I've got my chicken, rice, vegetables right here, I'll just eat this.
What a great, I actually started doing meal prepping now because most of the time when I'm busy or stressed, I just junk eat cookies or something.
We all do, yeah. So it's a game changer. So if you can start prepping your foods maybe just on Saturday, Sunday, or something like that, it really pays off.
I would start doing that now, and now you gave me the motivation.
There you go.
Okay, of course, with exercising, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, it's just a regular workout. Like it's no fun. I'm just gonna hurt myself while doing it. It's painful." And not a lot of people see the fun in working out. I understand from seeing personal experiences going to the gym, but how can we make more exercise more fun for ourselves?
I think one of the greatest things you do is find a workout partner or a group or somebody you can get with. Number one, for accountability, which is one of the keys to staying consistent. Because here's what's going to happen: you're not going to feel like working out every day. In fact, there's probably going to be more days you don't feel like working out than you do feel like working out. But if you got to meet your friends at the gym or they're waiting on you, and that once you get going, it's going to be okay. I think just they say the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door. So if you can just get that open, it'll start. So I tell people, could you go and do 5 minutes of exercise? And most people are like, yeah, I think I can do that. So if you can get in there and do 5 minutes of exercise, most of the time what's happening is you will start feeling, but oh, my body's moving, I'm feeling better, break a little sweat, I can do the whole workout. Or if nothing else, like we talked about, you did that 5 minutes. But talking yourself into 5 minutes over 60 minutes is a much easier sell. So I think it's finding that group, somebody you'll meet up with that can lift you up and joke around with and all that good stuff. That would be the first thing I tell people is find someone they can work out with. Find somewhere that's convenient. If it's a deal breaker if you got to go 45 minutes away and get your workout in, it's going to be tough. So finding somewhere near to you that's convenient, that's not a hassle to get there, is a big one. And then, like we talked about before, making it fun. How do you like to exercise? Do you like to maybe you like to lift weights? I enjoy lifting weights. Not everyone does. So if I just force that on everybody else, that's not how things work. So finding some way you move your body that you enjoy, whether it's swimming or biking or hiking or whatever it is, that's what you'll do, and find that. But find the group. I think that'd be the number one.
That's a good one. That's a good tip. I know with me, I would much rather go with friends than go alone. 'Cause I hate doing things by myself in terms of gym. I mean, plus it is going with people that you like know is so much more fun and keeps you more entertained rather than going alone.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
And plus, a good social life is good for the gym as well. That's a big one for two, is the social life of people.
Yeah, a lot of people that come to my class, that's a big part of it. They want to hang out with their friends at class. It's kind of their 1 hour of me time. They can get away from work and the kids and everything else, and just come and focus on themselves and be with their friends. Exercise is also, kind of an emotional thing that you can kind of improve your brain chemistry, all that good stuff, and you'll feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, all that together. So it's all kind of a total package right there.
And like, how did like that turning point in your life from being overweight, depressed, and injured kind of encourage you to do something bigger than you did before?
I think, if you look back and the worst things you've gone through in your life, it kind of puts you on the path where you're supposed to be. I went through some horrible things, and now I can relate to a lot of people. Like I do mentoring for kids now that, at one time I was in jail, I was on probation, all these different things that people see me now, they're like, no way, you like, yeah, man, it could happen to anybody and anybody can turn themselves around. So at least then being overweight and they're like, there's no way you were ever overweight because they see me now, they see the finished product, right? They didn't see the struggle. So thinking about that is that, uh, I've been injured, depressed, all these different things. I was on the point of suicide, and I've been able to talk to so many teens about that as well. That, hey man, there's a better way. It doesn't have to go like this. So like I said, anytime you're having to go on this path, I think it puts you on where you're supposed because you can relate to people. You're not just like, oh come on man, suck it up, you'll be all right. They kind of say, well you've been down here too. I mean, I'll just come and just talk to them. I'm not trying to fix their problems or anything like that. I'm just going to listen to them. That's the biggest thing people can do. And whether it's working out or if they're depressed or whatever, just kind of sitting with people and just listening to them. I mean, I had to go a whole lot further than that. So I think anything that's happened in my life, I've used that on my page. It's kind of put me where I'm supposed to be, and I think I'm there now.
Yeah, 100%. Like that is absolutely awesome. Like, of course, like from being where you were maybe 5 years ago, there's such a big difference between who you are now and who you were 5 years ago. Like, if you see me 5 years ago, I would have never doubted myself doing what I'm doing now. Or being anxiety, of course, pre-pandemic, things were pretty like trying to figure out what's going on, like we're stuck
Yeah,
at home, and that really caused so much anxiety for a lot of people.
for sure.
And we're being locked down, not having that social interaction, not doing things in person. Of course, going in school in person. There's so many things that got kind of stuck around during COVID and pre-COVID and after COVID. And it really caused a lot of anxiety, depression for everyone in different ways. And not doing what they're used to doing 24/7, whether it's like working, going to the gym, teaching. Like there's so many ways, but there's many reasons. Like people can look back on 5 years and be like, oh my gosh, I would never picture myself being alive 5 years later today. Like it's just
Yeah,
crazy to see how we see ourselves 5 years behind to where we are now is a big thing.
absolutely. Yeah.
But before we head off, I have some fun questions for you to wrap this episode up. And a bunch of exercise questions for you, so it'll be a good one for you. But do you prefer running or walking?
Um, Kind of in between. I like hiking and rucking and things like that. I don't. I go for walks a lot. Me and my wife walk a lot and kind of catch up with our day. I used to run a little bit, only when I had to, but I prefer hiking for me.
Oh, that's a good one. I love hiking too. I mean, I'm a runner as well, but I prefer hiking or walking. It's like the thing I find myself the most rather than running for some reason, even though I'm an avid runner.
Yeah. Either way is a great way to clear your head. It's a great way to do it.
Definitely. And if you could work out with anyone in the world, who would it be?
There's a guy named BJ Gador, and he used to be with Men's Health. You may have heard him that way, but back when I was first starting my career, he was kind of the guy that showed me workouts could be fun, and you could be a goofball when you led workouts, and just the way he does his programs, his workouts is amazing. So that would be the guy, BJ Gador. That's my guy.
Ooh, that's a good one. But of course, as we see each other like 5 years in advance, talking behind, but where do you see yourself in like 5 years now?
So in 5 years, let's see. So I'll be in my 50s, by the way, which sounds crazy. I don't feel that old. So in 5 years, my son will be graduating from the Air Force Academy. So I'm really excited about that. So we'll be seeing where he's going for his first duty station. So he's going there to play basketball, and then he'll figure out he'll do 5 years of active duty. So we'll kind of figure out. So there's a chance he might be in Italy or Tennessee or who knows where he'll be. So we'll be helping out with his duty station. Probably have another dog by then, if I had to guess. Probably
Hmm.
you got to have another dog, right? And I'll have written at least one more book by then.
Oh, good options. That
Yeah.
is such good options. And a dog, I'm the type of person I can own like a big farm of dogs. I'm a
Oh
big dog
yeah.
person, so I stand on that dog point. And best of luck with your son, by the way. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. He's worked hard for it.
And I really appreciate you coming on, taking the time to chat. I know you're a very busy person, so I really appreciate all the hard work you're doing into everything, and I look forward to see everything you're doing in the future. Everything you're doing is really awesome.
Oh, this is awesome. And if you're listening right now, please go and give Kylie a 5-star review. I mean, we need more young people out there making a difference in the world. Kylie's definitely doing that. So what's going to happen if you give her a 5-star review? More people will see this. More people can hear about Kylie. She can change more lives. So go help out Kylie and help out a future person who could hear about this podcast.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. And everyone, make sure to go check out Joe. And before we head off, where can people find you on social media?
So social media, you can look for my main thing is on Facebook. So I'm a Facebook guy. I'm old, so that's me. So Relentless Positivity Fitness on that, or Joe Martin on Facebook, and then Relentless Positivity Fitness on Instagram is my main two.
Awesome. Make sure everyone go give him a follow. I recommend make sure to rate and subscribe, like you said, reach more people, making more lives amazing. But thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you so much, Joe, for coming on and taking the time.
Thanks for having me on, Kylie.